It starts as you'd planned. You knock a few men down, picking off the weaker, knowing full well that Bedwyr and Gawain wait for you, knowing that they'll defeat you, so you can fight now and fight well. You take a bruise, but that's to be expected. You split your knuckle on a man's chin, you take a kick to your ribs that will leave you sore for a week, and here's Gawain, and here's Bedwyr. Of the two, it's Gawain you close with. You'd rather go down at his hand than Bedwyr's, but you'll give him a good run for it. You'll put up a good show. He shoves you sideways, and you stumble. He catches you up in a great bear hug, squeezing the air out of your lungs until your face feels hot with blood. Then he throws you to the ground. You land on one knee painfully and stagger upwards, realizing belatedly that you should probably have stayed down. Then someone lands a solid blow to your ribs and you hear something crack. You try to fall. You can give up now. You've given a good showing. But in a sudden press of body someone hauls you upward. Kai? There's a harsh laugh. Not Kai. Bedwyr. He pulls you into a headlock. Did you know, brother, he murmurs, there's a way to make sure you can never challenge my place here. They'll never follow a maimed man. Then he grips your left arm tightly and twists away from you, hauling your arm along with him. You turn, dazed, uncertain what's happening, and then he stripped you and you're on the ground. Arm still firmly gripped, but wrenched back now in agony. Oh my god, he's trying to break my arm or maybe tear it away. I plead with Bedwyr for mercy. I call to Kai for help. I appeal to Gawain for help. I put up with the pain. God damn it. I call to Kai for help, but where is Kai? I know that Gawain is here. Let's try to appeal to Gawain. Gawain! You struggle and spit out the word, but Bedwyr pushes you down into the dirt, the pressure implacable. Bedwyr, no, it's Gawain's voice, aghast. Bedwyr twists and your tendons scream. Your face is pressed to the rock. He's brought you down right on the edge of the central stone, but this time there's no sword within arm's reach. You catch a glimpse of it, tantalizingly close. You try to reach out, but it's a good 5 feet clear of your hand. It might as well be on the other side of an ocean. Something twangs like a harp string in your shoulder. Brother! You catch a brief glimpse. Kai's hand coming up. A rock hurled through the air. It strikes the central stone. There's a clang of metal, and Ulfr's sword slivers to within an inch of your fingertips. You close the gap, and it's in your hand. Bedwyr shouts in fury and wrenches at your other arm. You roll with it, rolling in the same direction, grating your face against the rock and losing skin. Then suddenly, the pressure is released, and there's a cry of pain. Bedwyr. You look up, blood dripping into your eyes. Gawain has dragged the man off you and has him in a chokehold. Astonished, you force yourself to your feet, the sword in your hand, and only then realize what this means, as Blaze raises his voice. By the terms of this honor circle, you fall to your knees again and don't hear the rest of his words over the hubbub. Damn, we won again. Surprising. Torches flare around the circle of stones. Your face is bloody, your muscles ache, and your ribs creak when you draw breath. But you're here, you're upright, and you hold Ulfr's sword. And here you are standing before your father, seated in his wooden chair. Muttering and shouting still goes on in the background, but, for now, it's hard to think straight about what that means. Ulfr doesn't rise from his bundling furs. He's wounded after all. Or perhaps he feels you're not worthy of the courtesy. Arthur, he says. The gods have spoken, it seems. You can feel Vivienne's eyes boring into you, furious. I can take this. For the good of Britain, I cannot. Or, I know that you have your doubts, but I have proven myself twice over. I will not let you down. Or, I have proven myself in front of all of you, twice over. Does any man truly believe I am not fit to lead? If so, I'll face you here and now. I don't think that's a good idea. We're not much of a warrior. So let's go with the middle one. Isn't that a leader? There's a snort of disgust from Uther. Blaze steps to your side. The war leader must declare his oath of fealty to the Pendragon, he says softly. You must lay Uther's sword on his lap. Or fall on it, snaps the king, and it's only then that you see the depth of hatred in his dark eyes. I swear, you manage to croak out. I, Arthur ap Uther, named war leader of Britain, swear fealty to Uther, king of Gwynedd and Pendragon of the Britons, and I will hold the good of this island above all else. You lay the sword on Uther's lap. You catch a strange, approving look from Blaze. Uther stares at the blade on his lap. He lifts it and weights it. I'd hoped to give this to my son. The words are a needle in your heart. Oh my god, it's so fucking cruel. He means Bedwyr. Of course he means Bedwyr. He doesn't consider you his true son. Perhaps he never did. What did your mother do to be so hated? He grunts and thrusts the hilt towards you. Take it. You take the preferred weapon, a magnificent piece of work. The sword of Uther, rumored to be the sword of Maximus, last Roman ruler of Britain. It might as well be a lump of lead in your hands. Well, we're like now. On the other hand, that's good. That will give us a bit of leverage against all our enemies. Now you, kings here present, says Blaze, you will swear your warbands to this man, and all others. Those who are not here, word will be sent, and they must present themselves here within a moon span, King Uther of Gwynedd. Your father doesn't look at you. I swear, he says. You catch the look on Bedwyr's face, and wonder if you can ever sleep safely again. God, I wouldn't want to be in this situation if it meant my life. Oh my god, everybody, my own father and my brother are gonna try to murder me at every single step from now on. I just know it. King Aaron of Dyfed. Aye, good Blaze. I accept your naming of the victor, as was my word. Arthur ap Uther has indeed won the circle, but I'll not pledge my men to him. You swore. You swore to accept your naming of the victor, and I have done so, but my loyalty is first to Dyfed, and second to Britain. I'm sorry, lad. Here he turns to you. But you have no notion what you're doing, and you have no knowledge of these lands, and the men just won't follow you. Whatever title you have, this is a favor I'm doing you. You're out of your depth. Careful, calls out Vivian, loud and clear. Oh, do be careful, my lord. We have worked hard for these alliances. And if my lord Uther wasn't such a prideful bastard, we'd have sorted all this properly, rather than through a scuffle in the dirt. No, I mean none of you ill, but I'm wintering at home, and we'll be sharpening our swords, and we'll be fighting the Saxons in Dyfeld's name in the spring. If you've come to your senses by then, send me word. What of the rest of you? Asks Vivian coldly. Would you all weasel out of your sworn oaths? I will not swear, says King Cadell of Powys. Had the victor been a sound, tried man, and had all followed, I'd have gone along with it. But my God is not yours, and my God did not chase this man. I will not, the King of Ceredigon, nor I. A moment of silence. I will swear, it's Gawain. In my father's name, in the name of Lot of Lothian and of the Orkney, I will hold to my oath, even if none of the rest of you buggers have the guts to do so. There's a silence, only broken by Kai's murmured, oh well, at least we have a battering ram. Okay, I have an idea that it could have gone worse if we could have no one, but, you know, that's the only step down. So we have Gawain, and we miss the Ceredigon, second Powys. Okay, so out of 5, we have 4. But we have the king and Gawain, so that's 2, it seems. An air of hopelessness settles over the circle, and the crowd breaks up into smaller, arguing knots. You find yourself ignored, blessedly, until Gawain approaches you. "Thank you," you say to him. "Aye, well, it may prove my undoing. My father's likely to gut me, but an oath can be broken lightly, whatever a man's might feel. It would be good for you to remember that," he grimaces. "There's a steep hill ahead, Arthur. I will help you with it. I think that it might surprise us all." "I hope so." "Aye. Well, I'll leave you to it." He walks off into the darkness, head bowed. Can I just do something like, trying to say something? "Well, you've had quite a day." It's Morgan, set waiting for you outside the ramparts as you walk back towards the fort. From a hungover but reasonably inoffensive fool this morning to most hated man in Britain tonight. Well done. Well, we're liked. Come on. Don't you start. She stands up and dusts the dirt off her breeches. She shakes her head. "It wasn't your fault. At least not entirely. I'm not saying I wouldn't have done things differently, but we are where we are now. Best to make the best of it." She slips her hand into yours and squeezes your fingers. "You know where I am if you need me." She breaks away from you. "I have to attend to my mother, who'll be turning from a simmer to a boil right about now. Get some sleep, Art. It might be the last lay for you for quite some time." She disappears into the gloom, leaving you to face the night, and the prospect of sleep on your own. Not quite on your own. "Well, brother," says Kai, who's been waiting for you by the gate. "Time for a drink, I think?" He puts his arm around your shoulder, wincing from his own bruises. Maybe this is what Hector meant when he told us to stay out of trouble. I'd love to see his face. "Sorry, father. Art accidentally became war leader of Britain. We won't do it again." Arthur. Both of you and Kai look around. It's Blaze, tattered robes making him near invisible in the darkness. "Oh, what now?" asks Kai. "Can't you give a man a moment to recover?" Blaze ignores him completely. "King Uther wishes to speak with you," he says, "privately. Follow me." Kai looks at you and sighs. "I'll meet you in the hall if you're still alive." Yeah, that was my fault exactly. "Good luck fighting the dragon." This is gonna be the turning point. We might not come back alive. The hut is dimly lit. A fire flickers in the hearth, and the candles burn low in iron holders dotted around the room. Uther is huddled in a chair by the fire. His face is pale, glistening with sweat, although his eyes are sharp enough as he looks up at you. But it's still a staggering change from earlier. You realize how much it must have cost him to appear strong before the assembled kings. "Arthur," he says by way of greeting. "Sit down. Blaze, leave us. Stop your fussing. I can manage." Blaze dips his head in acknowledgement and leaves the two of you alone. The silence is thick and awkward. Finally, he clears his throat. "I wish to apologize for my words. They were spoken in haste and in shock. You are my son, and the son of a foreign slattern. You can't help the bitterness. That's what the gossips say, and it'll be repeated loudly and often here tonight. I can understand why you asked Hector to send me back here." Igerna was no slattern. There's a momentary fury in his eyes. Then he pauses his hand across his brow, and the moment has passed. "I cannot mend actions that I took so long ago. Your mother is dead, and that cannot change. And I should have not sent you away, for them to turn you into this," he sighs. "But you showed a good head on your shoulders there in the circle today. Gawain is a fine ally to have. It is a shame your efforts were so ill-aimed. So now you are war leader, and what shall come to Gwynedd? What shall come to my people? You've dealt us a sore blow this day." So we have a couple of options here. Better me than Bedwyr. He's arrogant, vicious, and prone to rushing in when he should be thinking. I know, and I'm sorry for it. I'll do what I can to make things right. No, not this one. Definitely not this one. This one is a bit cheeky, but it could work. I've proven myself before the gods, whatever you think of me. You have a son who is a war leader, father, when the title could have gone to some other land. Then teach me. You have led armies in battle. Help me learn what to do, since we're in this situation. Actually, this one is awesome. Even now you insult me. Actor was a fine foster father and a fine teacher. I am what he made me, and I may surprise you, Uther Pendragon. Okay, so I have to choose. This one is good, but that will piss him off. He loves Bedwyr. This one... I don't think this one is a good thing. I don't think this one is definitely a good thing. You have a son who is a war leader. This is like... I guess this would be... to avoid the confrontation, to soothe his pride. This one is a bit too insulting, so then teach me. He shakes his head. It takes years, Arthur, to learn how to command warriors on a battlefield. It takes years to find the rhythms of the battle, to learn how to win men's heart, to build up trust with your bannerman. I have learned, father. Actor has trained me, and trained me well. Perhaps not all the Roman teachings fit with the forces of Britain, but it is much more than nothing. I am no milk-wet infant. He considers you for a time. Perhaps, he say at last, perhaps with Bedwyr's aid, we can make something of this. It speaks well of you that you are willing to try. He winces, shifting uncomfortably. You should go now, and leave me to my wound. I would try to sleep. Yes, that makes us even more of a leader. So we're definitely just going for the leader and diplomat situation here. Warrior is not what we are. So we'll have to try to make everything okay with our leadership and diplomatic skill. Compassion, I'm kind of, torn here. You guys, well, not you guys, but one of you recommended Old Faith. I'm actually really thinking that might be the way we want to go. On the other hand, there was not a single situation where I would really want to lean towards the Old Faith more than towards the one of Rome, because in this game I think that Rome signifies not only the belief but also the culture and the style of life, and balancing between the new knowledge and the old knowledge seems to be working so far for us. So we're now liked and we have few allies, and I'll see you next time with some more Pendragon Rising.